Welcome to Criminal Chronicles, the channel where we uncover the darkest, most powerful, and most shocking moments in history. Today's story is not just an assassination. It is a turning point in American history, a moment that changed a nation forever. This is the story of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, and the night his life was violently taken. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Kentucky. He came from extreme poverty with little formal education. From a young age, Lincoln showed intelligence, honesty, and determination. Through hard work and self-education, he became a lawyer and later entered politics. Lincoln rose to national prominence during a time when the United States was deeply divided over slavery. In 1861, he became the 16th President of the United States. Almost immediately after his election, the country descended into the Civil War. The nation was split, families were torn apart, and the future of the United States was uncertain. As president, Lincoln faced enormous pressure. He led the country through its darkest chapter. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring freedom for enslaved people in Confederate states. This decision made him a hero to many and an enemy to others. His leadership ultimately led to the Union's victory and preserved the nation. By 1865, the Civil War was coming to an end. The country was exhausted, but hopeful. Lincoln spoke of reconciliation, unity, and healing. He wanted to rebuild the nation, not punish it. However, not everyone shared his vision. John Wilkes Booth was a famous stage actor and a strong supporter of the Confederacy. He deeply opposed Lincoln and blamed him for the South's defeat. Booth believed that killing Lincoln would change history and restore what he believed was lost. On the evening of April 14, 1865, President Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theater. He was accompanied by his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln. The atmosphere was relaxed. No one expected danger. During the performance, Booth entered the presidential box. At the perfect moment, he fired a single shot at close range into Lincoln's head. Booth then jumped onto the stage and escaped, shouting a Latin phrase meaning, "Thus always to tyrants." Chaos erupted inside the theater. Abraham Lincoln was carried across the street to a boarding house, where doctors worked through the night. Despite their efforts, Lincoln never regained consciousness. On the morning of April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln died. He was 56 years old. The nation was plunged into shock and grief. Just days after the Civil War ended, the president who saved the Union was gone. Millions mourned. Churches rang bells. People filled the streets in silence. A massive manhunt began for John Wilkes Booth and his accomplices. Booth fled but was eventually tracked down and killed by Union soldiers 12 days later. Several conspirators were captured, tried, and executed. Lincoln's funeral procession traveled through multiple cities, allowing citizens to say goodbye. The sorrow was overwhelming. His death was not just the loss of a leader, but the loss of hope during a fragile moment in history. Abraham Lincoln is remembered as one of the greatest presidents in American history. He ended slavery, preserved the Union, and believed deeply in equality and democracy. His assassination made him a symbol of sacrifice and justice. The murder of Abraham Lincoln remains one of the most famous political assassinations in world history. It showed how hatred and division can destroy even the strongest leaders, and how one act of violence can change the course of a nation forever. Thank you for watching Criminal Chronicles. We tell these stories to remember the truth, understand history's darkest moments, and honor the lives that shaped the world.